Welcome to my app that I made for the course TDDD27. This is a portfolio or a personal page application, which is kind of a small project for the scope of the course, but I wanted to do something that I would use myself, and I didn't come up with a better idea, basically. So I built this with a stack of Arrays API in the backend and React and Redux in the front end, which is pretty overkill for this type of app, honestly, maybe. But it's a pleasant stack to use and very powerful. So let's take a look. The second page is where you can see projects. Each project is a card, clickable card with some basic info and tags. If you click on it, you come to another page with the project and some more information, so on. And that's pretty much it for the end user. Not much to do on a portfolio if it's not your portfolio. But if it is your portfolio, you can log in. Users, other users can't log in, because if they could sign up, they would edit all your projects. But if you made an account through the console, you can sign in. And when you're authenticated, you get this special privileges menu, which is just the basic CRUD operations for the projects. You can add a new project, or you can see a list of them, edit them, delete them, like so. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There weren't a lot of challenges when making this, because I have some experience with React from before, and learning Rails was pretty straightforward. But the most difficult part, so to speak, is perhaps getting the token authentication right. This is not I didn't implement traditional session-based authentication. This is the token-based approach, which is when you enter your credentials, send it to the server with a post request. The server checks it, sees if you're authenticated, and if you are, it returns an authentication token that you then store on your client. I store it in the Redux store state, which is saved using local storage, so if you refresh the page, you still have it. And then you send this authentication token back with every request that requires authentication. So it then checks if the token is valid, and if it's not, the request does nothing. And every time you log out, you send a post request. You route it to this function where the authentication token is set to nothing, and the user is then resaved, which regenerates the token. So yeah, it's a pretty good approach. Another thing that was interesting is maybe setting colors to the tags using a basic hash function, which, if I can find it, yeah, basically just hash the string of the tag, so it gets a index of an array of colors. And this means that the same tag gets the same color, which I found was a pretty cool solution for setting colors to the tags without saving them in the database and having another element in the interface for choosing colors. Another challenge was when deploying. I prefer to use a platform called Heroku, which is well, it's very easy to use, pleasant. But a drawback is it's complicated to have multiple servers for a single app. I didn't want to host the front end with a server and have another server for the back end, because that means I have to run two different apps, as they call it, on Heroku. So I want the Rails API to serve the front end, and to do so, basically just set it so that when you push to Heroku, it generates all these static files in a folder, which then copies to the Rails public folder. And these files are loaded when you hit the root route. But the thing is, you have all the API routes that's going to look for by default. So you set it up like this. Any route accessed that is not an API route loads this function, which basically just serves the index HTML. And when it does, the React router, which is the client, the router on the client side, it intercepts. And this means that I can reload this page and it will work. Okay, this, well, on the deployment side it will work. So this is the deployed app, and I can reload this project and it will work. It wouldn't work if I wouldn't have solved this problem. So yeah, thanks, and please rate, comment, and subscribe.